2 Corinthians 6:14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. It didn't say sinners, it says unbelievers. People that don't believe like you. See, because birds of a feather flock together, but they also fly to the same destination. So if people don't believe like you, they're not going to, the scripture says, can two walk together unless they be agreed? So when it says don't be unequally yoked, what it means by yoked is back in the day well, not even back in the day, because I'm in North Carolina now, I'm not in New Jersey. So in the country, they would yoke up animals together to before they came up with these high-powered tractors and stuff, to plow that land. Okay, but they had to walk in agreement so you can get a clear, a straight path. If the animals is going like this, then the crops grow like that, and they'll attack each other. So they need a proper line and a proper space, a narrow way, right? All right, so if you yoke up one with the other and one is pulling that way and one is pulling that way, they never get to do what they're supposed to do. So if you yoke yourself up with somebody who don't believe like you, you're going in one direction, they're pulling because they're going another direction. Every time you take a step of faith, you're making them uncomfortable. So they're going to speak and say and communicate and act out something totally different because you're challenging them just by your behavior. So you don't want to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. People don't believe like you, right? It says, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? So it's saying fellowship. It's not saying you won't say hi and bye, you won't minister to people. It's saying when you sit down, dropping your guard, why would you drop your guard with somebody that's unrighteous if you are righteous? Assuming you're righteous. It says, what communion has light with darkness? It says, what concord, what harmony has Christ with Belial? That's a demonic spirit. It says, what part has he that believeth with an infidel, a person that doesn't believe? It says, what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and will be their God, and they'll be my people. See, look. So what agreement has the temple of God with idols? Right? Then it says, they'll be my people. Wherefore, come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Because he's saying, how can I receive you, and you bringing in time bombs? That's like receiving a terrorist in the house. He says, come out from among them, be ye separate, cleanse yourself from all the kryptonite, and then let's talk. Then we'll be in agreement, we'll be in harmony. But if I'm telling you to not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, I'm not yoking up with you and you yoking up with the devil. That just don't even make sense. So look, he said, no, I'm good. He says, I still love you. Just come out from among them. No deep revelation. Be ye separate. He said, be ye separate, I receive you. No problem. So if you don't want to be separate from them, what you're saying is being connected to them is more important than being connected to me. So that's fine, but you know how you ever been in a bad relationship, and so the person's in a bad relationship, then they make a request from you. They need something. They want you to do this, purchase this, buy this, and the person will respond, go tell your lover to do that for you. Why are you coming over here? You want something from me? You want to be intimate with me? Go be intimate with the person you was with last night. No. Matter of fact, tell them to pay your bills. Matter of fact, you can drive their car to work. Matter of fact, you can go stay in their house because I'm throwing all your stuff outside. Right? All right, so guys like the same thing. He's like, why are you making requests to me? Make requests to the person you spend the most of your time with, that you're hanging out with, that you're in communion with. That's why the scripture says, I don't hear the prayer of the sinner, because you're in another relationship and you want me to be responsible. We talk about that sometimes. People being in other relationships and other commitments, but they place a demand on us. They want our support. They want us to bail them out of a situation. So I'm like, well, why don't you ask the person that you're in the relationship with to bail you out? Now, we're so merciful, we still be doing stuff. Well, she be getting on me sometimes, but because we love people. But that's what God is saying. God is saying, okay, if you really, really, really saying you love me, then why are you in an intimate relationship with him? Not rocket science. Now, he's saying if you want to be in that relationship, fine. Don't expect anything from me. I just stand on your feet. I know people be trying to end on a good note. That probably wasn't a good note, but let's just end on that note. It's a thinking note. And again, sometimes I have to repeat it. When you hear stuff, set targets. You ain't walking through the door getting revelation from God and going to walk on water that day. Some of you might. But at least hear it, write it down, and set a target. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to get to. So then now when you're making decisions, like if you want to go to Cancun, or you want to go to Florida, or wherever you want to go, and you start to see things related to that, it does something to you. You go, oh, let's check on that. Oh, guess what? They got flights to such and such. You respond to them. Why? Because you've already set the target. That's where you want to go. But if you didn't set the target, you can hear about the flights and it'll blow right by you. You can hear about the opportunity, it'll blow right by. If you set a target for the position you want to work at, and you hear a position comes up, what do? You jump right. You look, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. So what I'm saying is set the target for sanctification. Set the target for some of the things you hear, and as you'll find yourself doing less of compromise than you were before, falling into temptation a lot less, and you'll get to a point where you won't fall into temptation at all and you won't compromise at all. But it's a process. You're not going to go from compromise, falling into temptation, to super holy. It's just not happening. But set a target and do more and more. And while you're moving towards doing right, don't make excuses for doing wrong. That's all. That's the only requirement. It doesn't mean you won't do wrong, but when you do wrong, take responsibility for it. Don't make excuses for it, because then you'll do wrong more. Well, this is not really like wrong. They're doing wrong. I'm just doing wrong. Why even go through all that? Just, okay, I missed it. I blew it on this one. This is what my target is. I will get there.